outside and shout, shout, shout. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show.
He's always a tad bit delirious, and his ginger hair is so glorious. And remember, it's not that serious. It's just the Pink Trip Show, you silly duck. The time is here. Stand up now. Run outside and shout, shout, shout. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. He's always a tad bit delirious, and his ginger hair is so glorious. And remember, it's not that serious. It's just the Pink Trip Show, you silly cuck. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show. It's time for the Pink Trip Show.
Holy crap, everything's getting crazy, boys. Everything's getting crazy. I'll be honest, I've been, like I said, black-pilled. I think I'm at the point where I think everything's fucked. There's no fixing it. We're all going to just slowly turn into a third world country. Our bills, expenses are going to get crazy. People are going to have just trouble just getting by, even worse than it is now. And I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just going to laugh at it all. Because we can't fix this shit. We can't fix this shit. No one's going to fix this shit. And here we are. Something that everybody predicted was eventually going to happen was Trump and Elon were going to turn on each other. And my God, I didn't think it was going to get this ugly. And it really all started with this tweet right here from Elon. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Now, on this point, I happen to agree with Elon. I think that bill sucks. It's not what we voted for. We voted to actually solve the problems. This is a continuation of the problems. We need to get crazy when it comes to fixing this. We need to go like, oh, goodbye 90% of federal government, get our spending down to basically fucking nothing except the essentials, and then we can lower taxes, to get to the point where the federal government is bringing in just a little more than they're spending, which should be basically next to fucking nothing. And we can solve the problem, and we can stop taxing the fuck out of people, which will be a boom to the economy, so we can get our GDP going and get our economy growing. And we have to starve off this federal government bullshit. We got to starve off this corruption that is just fucking doing nothing but robbing the taxpayers, robbing the citizens, and destroying this country slowly but surely. And Trump comes in because we wanted him to fix this. And this is not fixing this. This is business as usual. This is, unfortunately, what I kind of expected to happen. But what choice do you fucking have at this point than to vote for shitty fucking people? Because that's the only options you have is shitty fucking people. So yeah, started with this tweet, which again, I think this is a fair, Elon's allowed to have his opinion about the bill. I think the bill sucks. I think it needs to be scrapped. We need to go back and maybe do just one item at a time, or like maybe make the bill smaller and more focused. Like, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people are not happy with this. I'm not happy with this. So this started it all. I talked about this tweet in the last episode, but this was from June 3rd. Then Trump comes out, starts attacking Elon.
So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up in campaign for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars. And it's
just funny because I've not seen Elon once complain about the fucking mandate being cut. I've seen him multiple times say, yeah, cut the mandate. And on top of that, we got to cut so much more. This feels like a lie from Trump to me.
It really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have we want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different, and I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it.
Really, he didn't become different until the bill came out. And Elon has disputed knowing every aspect of the bill. He says that's a lie as well. Look, in this case, I have to side with Elon because this bill is a fucking disaster. This bill is not what we needed. What we needed was somebody who was willing to do whatever it takes to cut the federal government down to as small as fucking possible. That's the only way we solve this problem. Is we got to get the federal government down to probably what its original vision was, get it very tiny, and then we can, stop taxing the fuck out of everybody to death to fund this corrupt-ass government. Get the GDP going, get the country going again, economy-wise, when the federal government gets out of the fucking way. And then if every year, the government's not spending more than it's bringing in, it's just a matter of time, especially with a booming economy, things will be fine. Long as we stay on that track for a few years, we'll fix the problem. So yeah, the problem is fixable, but nobody is going to do that. Nobody is going to do that. That's the problem.
Better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure
did Elon already fold on Twitter, Kaido? Let me pull that up. Let me see.
You can get very fresh. On tape.
Moving situation.
He said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard, and he did a good job.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Elon falling back at all on Twitter. Maybe I'm missing something.
And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this one. I was telling the Chancellor, This is where it is. People come in.
It probably feels like me. This was like a once in a lifetime opportunity to fix this problem. And it's obvious now we're not going to fix the problem. And it's going to be just a waste of fucking time. We all got involved, got happy for nothing, and nothing's going to be fixed.
Here, even from Germany.
By the way, from now on, super chats are tips. Okay? So if you want to tip me, I'm basically a waiter dishing out fucking content. Okay? So if you want to support me, as a service provider, someone providing a service, send me a tip, and that shit should be tax-free. That might be the one shining little positive moment out of everything going on right now is I might be able to just consider my super chats tips, and that might not be taxable. We'll find out. I have a feeling they'll find a way to still make that taxable. I don't know. But they're tips, guys. Send me a tip. Love you.
Germany. They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's, you know, World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago.
Yeah. All right. So he's saying that Elon's now turning on him because he's not in the administration. And he's so sad and so depressed about not being in the administration anymore and not being around the beautiful White House. No, your bill sucks, dude. Your bill sucks. This is not, I mean, you're so out of touch with what the people want, what the mass majority of people want, not what the fucking neocons want, but what the new MAGA movement is about. And maybe some of you are too dumb to understand that nothing succeeds if we don't actually get, I mean, we are the real fucking small government people. It's not even the neocons. They're the pretend small government people. We are the real small government people. That's like, we have to get the government down to, so like, again, I'll say 90% of it needs to just fucking go. And that includes 90% of our government spending will go along with it. And then it will be very easy to have a tiny little tax, sales tax, however you want to do it, that can make up the difference and then put us on the right path. To me, it's pretty simple. It's pretty fucking simple. But no, it's a disaster. So after this, after Trump, so everybody thinks Elon started it. I guess you could say Elon started it by not agreeing with the bill, but if he doesn't like the bill, he should speak his mind. That's the way things work. We're not the fucking cult over on the left where everybody agrees with everything, even if they don't like it because, oh, optics. No, fuck that. We have to fight this out. We got to make sure we get the shit done that's actually going to fix this fucking country. So yeah, so some will say Elon started it, some will say Trump started it. I think this did start it, but I think this really escalated it because, yeah, they should have gone behind the scenes and hashed it out. And Trump should really just back off this bill and be like, you know what, you're right. Let's get rid of this stupid bill, start from scratch. But that's never going to happen, is it? Because now it's all about his legacy. If you don't pass the bill, it hurts his legacy because his legacy probably matters more to him than actually fixing the fucking country. So Elon responded. Now, some of this might be out of order. This is why I was late. I had to reload all these fucking tabs, dude. Because I fucked up and I had to reload them all. But yeah, so Elon went full calling Trump a PDF file. I mean, that might have been going a little too far with Elon. But shit, if he's right, and it turns out the reason that they're hiding the Epstein files is because Trump is all over them, that's going to be ugly. So yeah, so he posts this old video
of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump.
I mean, Elon has gone scorched earth on Trump,
giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance.
It's so fucking cheesy. I mean, come on. I mean, Trump was such a lame dude. Look, again, if I had the option between him and fucking Kamala again, I'd still. I don't know if I'd vote this time, but if I had to choose, I would vote for Trump. God, he's such a fucking laughingstock sometimes.
Appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier.
Oh, we all know who that fucking guy is, right? The old old Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. Come on in. Go inside. More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and...
So you see what's going on here. Elon is not just attacking about the bill now. Elon's going full in on the Trump is a PDF file. Holy shit. Like that's, I don't know if that might have been too far, but I think Elon is really pissed. Now, again, we're going to get to this too. Remember the black eye. Remember the black eye. There are rumors that the black eye wasn't because his son punched him in the face. The black eye might have been a behind the scenes fight. We're going to get into that too. It's getting interesting. And now he's calling for Trump's impeachment. Colt C with $4.99, just the tip. Thank you for the tip, Colt C. Remember, once again, those are tax-free for me. I don't think you pay taxes on it. I don't know. There may be a sales tax. I don't fucking know. We're doing this, boys. Tip me. Tip me. I'm a fucking service worker. I'm a waiter. Tip me. All right. So yeah, I mute Ian Miles Chong, but then sometimes, I don't know, Elon likes to repost him. I don't know why Elon doesn't understand Ian Miles Chong is a real problem, but I have to unmute him to read this. Ian Miles, dumbass Chong says, President versus Elon, who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached, and JD Vance should replace him. And that's, Elon's literally calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump. The fucking impeachment of Donald Trump. I still think it's early. I hope in year 2, maybe Trump will get more serious about cutting the spending. Maybe this will be a wake-up call, and next year when it's time to we're going to be like, no. We actually have to cut the deficit. That has to be the goal, not this other bullshit. Like, the survival of this fucking country and the American people's future depends on us getting the size of federal government way, way, way down. It's the only way to solve this problem. Only way to do it. Bannon. Shit, did I... Dude, I'm telling you, I lost so much of this shit. Yeah, this is the Stephen Miller punching him. Did I lose? Yeah, so... Oh, here we go. Yeah, time to drop... Where did I lose it? Holy shit, come back. Time to drop the really big bomb. This is Elon again. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is a real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Now, holy shit. I think we knew he flew on the plane. The question was, was he just like around him? A lot of people were around Epstein. Epstein was in a lot of circles, especially with wealthy people like Trump. Or is there real evidence that Trump was like more involved with this? And this is why we're not getting the Epstein files. This has been a suspicion a lot of people have had. Why aren't we getting the fucking Epstein files? We talked a big game and then all of a sudden, no Epstein files. And the other side of that is they say, well, if there was like shit that would take down Trump that's in the Epstein files, the Democrats would have released it already. Unless there's shit in there that's also going to take down Clinton and other Democrats. Maybe at that point they're like, yeah, we would really like to use this to destroy Trump, but it would also destroy us. So bury it. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. But if it turns out Trump was in the Epstein files, disavow. I mean, if he was like involved, not just what we know already, right? He was in the circle. He rode on the plane a few times. Apparently didn't go to the island. If that turns out to not be true and he went to the island, disavow. Disavow really quickly. But again, if Elon's saying some shit like this, I hope he's really knowing what he's saying and he's not just throwing some fucking PDF file dirt, because that's a pretty hard fucking core attack. Okay. So yeah, Trump partying with Epstein. We know that. Now this one I don't agree with Elon on. The Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. I don't think Trump's going hard enough with the tariffs. I mean, I think it is important that he like pinpoints the industries that need the tariffs and not just does blanket tariffs. Like where do we need to bring the steel industry, tariffs on steel. You need microchips, tariffs on microchips, that shit. But it seems like he's already backing off on that. So I disagree with Elon on this, but shit, he is. I mean, it looks like at this point, Elon is going to start a third party or attempt to start a third party because that's what he's talking about here. Again, yeah, calling for the impeachment of Trump, which I think that's going a little far. Did I lose the third party one? I guess I did. So yeah, he's also calling for a third party. He did a vote. It's like a crazy amount of votes. 80% people want a third party. That is pretty interesting to me. I don't know if I'd want the third party to be started by Elon. Maybe some sort of coalition of people that are truly small government, who are truly for cutting the size of federal government, and that is truly our goal, not just to lie and say that's our goal and then get in and enrich ourselves, but like a true movement that's like, to save this country, we have to slash the federal government. Okay? States can take control. States can be the decider. States can be the one collecting most of the tax revenue, making the laws, for each state, specifically each county. That's where the power needs to lie, locally, at the county and state level, not with the federal government. That needs to be the fucking movement, I think, because how else are we going to fix it? We need to at least fucking get our spending down to less than what they bring in. We at least need to do that. At least need to do that. So yeah, Steve Bannon, who, you guys know I love Steve Bannon, but Jesus, Steve is making, again, I don't agree with Steve on this one, 100%. But Steve Bannon's going in hard on Elon too.
Know anything. He's a know-it-all. He knows some engineering. Don't get me wrong. I give a hat tip for that, but he doesn't know anything about the real world.
And that audio is their audio. I can't fix that.
Doge was, and for any,
they need to put a little fucking noise thing to remove that background. That's some heavy background noise, boys.
fanboys that still exist. While you're wrapping up in your cape tonight, understand on Doge, he didn't find any fraud. There's plenty of fraud out there. He didn't find. This was President Trump's first complaint. Was this all BS? Right, with the Doge, the act that President Trump should be taking immediately. Well,
from my understanding, all of the money that they were going to cut out with Doge, it's a tiny percentage of it is actually being cut in the bill. So it sounds like Doge is being undercut by this bill and the Republican establishment. Which, by the way, after this, we're going to talk about the attempted move to make THC products illegal in Texas. Dan Patrick, I'm about to shit all over his face because they're fucking lying their asses off, and it's very obvious. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into Dave Portnoy's meltdown as well.
I think when he threatens to take one of the big programs out of SpaceX, President Trump tonight should sign an executive order calling for the Defense Production Act to be called in SpaceX and seize SpaceX tonight before midnight.
That's a little crazy, don't you think? Don't you think that's a little crazy? Like, you guys aren't even doing anything against like most of the real corruption. You're not, you took over power and it's like, oh, okay, well, we're in charge now. It's again, like they say they're going to drain the swamp. They go in, they think they're going to control the swamp. You cannot control the swamp. It must be drained. And this is the moves you're going to make against someone who helped you get elected, who's on your side, who just has a fucking disagreement with the bill because the bill's a disaster. So we're going to go in and we're going to take his companies now. We're just going to fucking nationalize his companies. Come on, Steve.
Know anything.
That's a little dumb. Yeah, he's not done.
Elon Musk is working for himself. President Trump empowered him more than anyone's ever been empowered in this government, had his back, promoted this guy. And when people like me who said, you're making a mistake, right? This is a bad guy. He's going to turn on you. He's not with us. He's also totally incompetent. And President Trump said, hey, give this guy a shot. And I trust President Trump's judgment enough to say, as people know, I backed off a little, right? Not a lot, I backed off a little. But it's not about observations. As soon as he didn't think he ran the deal or got the adoration, right, that he was starting to be saying, where's the $1 trillion, right? What is this? He turned on President Trump. He turned on MAGA. But most importantly, he turned on the country and the American people. And President Trump just had enough of it.
I think he had a problem with the bill. I didn't see any of this really come out till I think where a lot of us really looked into the bill and said, this is horse shit. So what do? Do you sit back and do you be like the lefties and be like, oh, it's a Democrat bill. We all have to support it. We all have to support it. Or do you go, no, this is garbage. This is fucking garbage. So in this case, there's a lot of things I think Elon is kind of dumb on. And I like everybody else, I don't trust Elon 100%. But in this case, when it comes to this bill, I have to agree with Elon. This is a garbage fucking bill, and it needs to be gotten rid of.
And he forced his way back in to have like some last day. They didn't want to do that, but fine. And then as soon as President Trump comes out today, and President Trump saying it in the nicest way possible about the bill, right? The bill, bing, bang, bang. The guy gets up and starts tweeting the most vicious stuff You could tweet. So all the fanboys defend this. He accused President Trump of basically being a group with those pedophiles on the island. He called for the president to be impeached and J.D. Vance to take his role. As hard as we've worked in all the years that we've worked and this audience has worked, some punk is going to sit there and go, he should be impeached. And hey, as sure as the turning of the earth, if those progressives rub up on him and say, hey, they're never going to buy the Teslas, we're going to buy the Teslas, they rub up on him, he'll write a $500 million check for Hakeem Jeffries. He'll be across the thing.
I hope he does start a third party. I think if he does get involved again and starts putting money into politics, I think he's going to start a third party. We kind of need a third party in this country. Everybody says it's pointless. It's never going to win. Fuck. I mean, if the Democrats and Republicans keep destroying this country the way they are, what choice do we have than to try a third party? And I think at a certain point, there will be enough people willing to vote third party.
Looking to impeach President Trump, looking to help steal the 28 election, looking to imprison President Trump. So here's my point. Let's get ahead of it.
So he's saying it ends there, but he's saying that Elon's gonna be trying to imprison Trump. So Elon's gonna go full TDS and want to imprison Trump, and you get ahead of it. So what are you going to deport Elon? You're going to imprison Elon? We're going to act like fucking Hillary Clinton, start whacking people? What? Maybe don't put a stupid piece of shit bill out there and support it. Maybe that, you know? Maybe actually don't go against everything you said in the past about spending cuts. And, you know, do I even have these, dude? Look, let me get to Elon's thing so I can, because there's more tweets here I think I missed. Yeah, it's time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle. 81% on 3.6 million votes. I think a third party is a real serious possibility at a certain point. And it's got to be about cutting the size of federal government. That's got to be the number one goal. You know, freedom, returning to the constitutions, being the law of the land, and getting the size of the federal government to something that would make George Washington come in his fucking pants. That it'd be that small. George Washington be like, oh, I love this federal government. It's so small and beautiful. That should be the goal. Let's see what else is Elon saying. Team America. If America goes broke, nothing else matters. No shit. I mean, people think because we can print money, like we can just do this forever. Printing money is a very powerful tool, but it's being abused to the point where it will destroy this fucking country. You can't just keep spending to the point where the inflation is destroying the economy, and then you're just like, let's just spend more. Let's just spend more. Let's keep taxing all the money out of the citizenry so that we can pay for all of this bullshit that is not helping anybody. And of course, it's going to die. This country will die if we keep down that route. J.D. Vance, I don't know how much I trust him, so I don't know about impeach and put Vance in there. I don't know. Senator Rand Paul, I'd vote for it if we got real spending cuts, but this bill is the largest debt increase in U.S. history, $5 trillion. So Rand Paul, Rand Paul agrees with me pretty much about the size of the federal government too, if I'm not miscorrect. There was something here I wanted to find, but maybe yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they're trying to say like Elon started this, but what Elon did was go against the bill. He said he didn't like the bill and he was going to speak out about it. And then Trump comes out and accuses Elon of just being mad because of the EV cuts, and he's mad because he's, at that point, I mean, if Trump is lying, which it sounds like he's lying, I think Elon went scorched earth because he's like, this motherfucker's just straight up lying. He's just straight up lying to demean my character when all I'm trying to do is get a shitty bill stopped from being passed. So I can kind of understand why Elon's so pissed off about this. Who is right? 1.4 million, Elon Musk winning pretty big. I mean, that's a pretty big sample of people to vote. So maybe they're all Elon Musk supporters. That's possible. Congress is spending us into bankruptcy. At some point, Congress has to stop this endless cycle of out-of-control deficit spending. Speaker Mike Johnson. There was some here that I wanted to find which shows like Trump's old tweets versus what he's saying now. Here we go. Elon Musk reminded Trump of his own words. This is Donald Trump from 2013. I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I am Republican and I am embarrassed. Yeah. 2012, no member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficit's not allowed. Where is this guy? Right? Like this is who we fucking elected. This guy, right? No member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficit's not allowed. Trump, look at your own fucking words. How can you not see that you're making yourself look like an idiot? Maybe this was always the plan, dude, or maybe you know, in dirty politics, it's always just tell people what they want to hear, and then you get in there and you do what the fuck you want to do. And usually that's what enriches yourself and not the American people. And we've had 100+ years of this now, it seems like. So yeah. I'd like this Donald Trump back. Where'd this Donald Trump go? I think there's more too. He was pulling a lot of them, dude. Let me see. So yeah, and then Elon saying that without him, Trump would have lost the election. I think Elon did play a big part. Who knows if Elon helped him win. So Elon saying keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill. Also cut all the crazy spending increases in the big ugly bill so that America doesn't go bankrupt. So Elon, I don't think Elon really has a problem with the killing of the EV credits because, look, man, Tesla's fucking popular. Tesla's an amazing fucking car. I was finally in a Tesla. I'm like, dude, it drives its fucking self. It's fast as fuck. Like, I kind of want to buy a Tesla now. So I don't think he needs any incentives. The car is popular. People fucking love it. It's a great car. So yeah, that's that. You know, I mean, this is not what Trump has been about. This has never been what Trump's been about. And then he goes in and then the first bill they put through is business as usual. It's sad. It is really sad. But again, I'm at the point now I can't afford to care about anything because it's just too depressing, right? Caring. So I'm just, what the fuck? Fight it out. Fight it out. Let's sit back and laugh as the world burns. Because what other fucking choice do we have at this point? All right, let's see what else we got here. I think even Alex Jones is turning on this. So I think even Alex is kind of getting on Elon's side with this, guys. Even Alex. Let's see what he says here. So this is, I mean, this guy's a little, you could just, there's certain people you can look at the way they talk and how they handle themselves and you just like, oh, this guy's not to be trusted. This guy's got like lawyer written all over him.
Elon Musk just said we need a brand new bill that doesn't grow the deficit. He was actually quote tweeting a video of you from the press conference this morning saying you tried to reach him last night. Do you have any response? He says we need a brand new bill that doesn't grow the deficit.
Elon, look, we don't have time for a brand new bill. And
well, we do. We don't have time to pass a terrible bill. That's what we don't have time for. Time to pass a terrible garbage bill. So go back to the drawing board, create a much smaller bill that anybody can read in like 30 minutes to an hour. And let's focus on what's needed to save this country in the long run. That's what the bill needs to be.
And I want Elon.
And you'll get Trump supporters behind it. Especially if you imagine if the bill was really simple, if there was like 5 bills that were small bills that everybody could read and understand and it wasn't a bunch of shit hidden in there. I mean, that alone would make people feel better. But no, we can't even pull that off.
And all my friends to recognize the complexity of what we've accomplished here. This extraordinary piece of legislation, record number of savings, record tax cuts for the American people, and all the other benefits in it. We worked on the bill for almost 14.
Oh, remember I was reading the salt tax reduction or whatever? That shit is ridiculous. Basically, if you live in a Democrat state that's paying high fucking taxes, you get some sort of break in the federal tax. So basically, red states have to pay more in federal taxes because Democrat states are taxing the shit out of their citizens. Make it make sense. Make that make sense to me.
18 months. You can't go back to the drawing board, and we shouldn't. We have a great product to deliver here. So I know it's not perfect by some people's estimations, but you cannot make a perfect the enemy of the very, very, very good. We're proud of this product. The House Republicans are proud of it, and we're happy to go out and explain that to everybody. So I'll continue to try to reach Elon and tell him, extol the merits of our work here. I hope he'll understand this. Thank you.
Let's see what Alex says. Somebody last time was like, how could you play Alex Jones clip? You lose all credibility. Fuck you. I'm going to play all the Alex I want.
Mike Johnson comes out and he's bragging about the fact that he's been working on the big, beautiful bill for 14 months. And it's just reminiscent of the $1.2 trillion omnibus bill he tried to pass just months ago, insisting that it was necessary that we pass it in order to get a budget together for the President of the United States. We should sell out all the interests of the American people and allow the deployment of no less than 12 biolabs across the world and expand the federal government's power and ability to respond en masse to any threats of a pandemic into the future. Basically, all the mistakes that have been made over the course of the last 8 years were just hyper-funded in a $1.2 trillion omnibus bill proposed and supported by Mike Johnson. And he lied and said there's no way to get around it, and we killed the bill in like 1 day. So Mike Johnson is actually the problem here.
Yeah. Neocons, neolibs. It's the problem. It's the Uni-party bullshit, dude. You know? And it was like, okay, maybe with Trump, maybe with Republicans, it's a new Republican movement. But the problem is, at the heart of it is still a bunch of fucking neocons. It's all leftover Bushite pieces of shit. Okay? And Texas is a perfect example of these neocons and what they're up to. We're going to get to that. This is really pissing me off. Like, the more I looked into this Dan Patrick bill, you know, there was a point I liked Dan Patrick a little bit during the pandemic, during 2020, because he was speaking out for freedom. No. I think some people during 2020 saw the writing on the wall and they're like hedging their bets. Ooh, if I go against the lockdowns, I'm going to win a lot of cred with the people. But they were always pieces of shits.
Mike Johnson is the one that's been playing Elon Musk and playing Donald Trump and trying to pit them against each other. I guarantee he is behind all this. I tried to call Elon Musk last night, but he didn't answer.
Wouldn't be surprised, dude. So, okay, the Elon Musk black eye. Word on the street is that he was punched in the face by, what's the fucking guy's name? Stephen Miller, yeah. Stephen Miller. So apparently, Elon Musk just jacked Stephen Miller's wife. He's fucking Stephen Miller's wife. And he shows up with this black eye. Now, the black eye is on his right eye. Stephen Miller's left-handed. So it kind of lines up that it's possible Stephen Miller gave him a left shot to the eye. Okay, a left-handed shot to the eye. This black eye is delivered by someone who can't throw a punch, and Stephen Miller's wife just left him for Elon Musk. And Stephen Miller is left-handed. Probably unrelated. I don't know, man. I might have got really ugly behind the scenes, dude. And look, if somebody jacks your wife, I think punching them in the face is a response a lot of men will have. So that's very believable if that's the case. I don't know if he really stole his wife, but it seems to be everybody saying it as if it's fact. Stephen Miller probably punched Elon Musk after Elon Musk stole his wife. Allegedly, they were involved in a throuple-type relationship, and she decided to leave Miller for Musk. You can't compete with a billionaire, guys. All right? Don't try to compete with a billionaire. Your woman will be gone before you've had time to even notice she left. All right? She'll be moved out. You'll go to lunch and come back, and everything will be gone. The whole house would have been cleared out, and she'll be fucking living it up with a billionaire husband, and she won't even remember that she married you. She'll be that quick. So So Miller's wife left him and now works at SpaceX. That's interesting. So, Patrick Bet David, he's talking about it too.
If you use your imagination, God knows what happened with that black eye. Mm-hmm. That black eye, you know, was it a fight that took place? Somebody swung and it really offended Elon. Is like, look what I'm going to do to you guys. Is that a Lutnick? Is that, I don't know who else did it. Who else will be in that room? I don't know who it is. Maybe, but think about that. Doesn't accidentally happen. And you want to do something like this too. Maybe it was a meeting while they're calling each other out and somebody just, because Elon started calling out Trump and it got nasty. And then somebody swung and then somebody was a peacemaker bringing it in. I'm not speculating. Remember, the key word is allegedly. We don't know any of this stuff. But the timing of all of this is a little weird. Timing of all this is a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, it might have got really ugly behind the scenes. And what we're seeing now, the level of vitriol, points to it probably did get really ugly behind the scenes. And this was, Elon looked, again, Elon, I don't know if he's just, people are saying he's on drugs. And there's like rumors that he's on a lot of drugs. And like he has a drug guy following him around. Look, I like drugs. You want to be on drugs, go ahead, all right? I'm not someone that's going to judge you. If you're still productive, do what you want to do. As long as you're not destroying your life and you're unproductive and making the people you love miserable. Everybody's on some sort of drug, right? Everybody's drinking coffee. Everybody's taking drugs from their doctor. Fuck it. Whatever. I don't care. But it's kind of funny.
Well, it's a very sad case. It's a case we win. We can't lose that case.
Is this him on drugs, or is this him after just getting beat down in the back room, having PTSD? Trying to play off that he just got fucking attacked. I mean, what is going on behind the scenes with the Trump campaign? Are they like jumping dudes now? Are they like, we have a meeting, Elon, come back. And then Elon goes back there and like dudes just come from the side and blast him in the face and they start kicking him on the ground. Like, yo, you better get in line, motherfucker. I mean, who knows what kind of shit goes on behind the scenes.
Because we have the right to make grants. We're not going to make any grants like that.
I mean, he kind of looks like a victim of abuse here, doesn't he? Kind of looks like a victim of abuse.
I don't think Harvard's been acting very nicely. I think Columbia wants to get to the bottom of the
Don't cry. Like, don't cry. Play it cool. Don't lose it. Don't lose it because I just got beat up and jumped by the president of the United States. Okay, play calm. It's all good. I mean, I don't know if that's what's going through his head or if he's just high as fuck.
Very well. And there are other institutions, too, that are acting, but Harvard's trying to be a big shot. And all that happens is every 3 days we find another 100.
Yeah. I don't know, but this is getting interesting. I think if Trump doesn't fucking realize what the people want, somebody has him out of touch where he's not realizing what the people want. And I'm not talking about the Trump cult members who are just like, anything Trump does, it's 4D chess. Like, there are people that think this whole Elon Trump thing is just an elaborate fucking rouge or row, whatever the fuck that word is. It's an elaborate fucking con on everybody just to get everybody thinking they're fighting with each other when really they're together. And it's like, dude, you need to get your shit together. You need to realize what it is the American people voted on you for, voted for you to do, which you probably already know, and get back to that. And that starts with going, this bill is shit. I will veto this bill. Go back, get back to work. But he won't do that. I don't think he will. But that's the move. That's the move to restore this. It's all in Trump's hands. Stop pretending this bill is anything other than business as usual bullshit that we've been trying to put a stop to for a long fucking time. What else we got here? Okay. So he said that was his kid, but who tells their kid to punch them in the face? Who goes, hey, son, punch me in the face? I don't think that's what happened. I mean, if he did that, that's kind of a bad parenting move because then you're like teaching your kid's going to end up punching more people in the face. He's going to be like, oh, he's going to just go around punching his friends for no reason. Like, you don't teach your kid to do that. So I don't believe that. Personally. All right, so before we get into the Texas banning THC stuff, I don't know if you saw this clip. This dude came in, this mentalist guy, and he tried to guess or to figure out what Joe Rogan's debit PIN, his PIN number is for his debit card or ATM card. And you won't believe what fucking happened. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Joe's happy about this. And there are a lot of fucking people that have conspiracies that this guy's connected to Israel. And Israel are the ones that uncovered his debit card number. And this is a warning to Joe from Israel. I don't know, but this is crazy. If this is real, and this is not some scam where this guy was somehow able to figure out what his PIN number was before and just basically is just fooling everybody. If this isn't that, and this guy can actually, this is an amazing fucking talent.
How long you been married?
16 years.
Okay, nailed that question. Well played.
Thank you.
You got your sister's happy, your wife's happy. If I asked you, would your wife know your social security number?
No.
She doesn't know it?
No.
So is there any way in the world I could know your social security number?
I don't think so.
Right, you say I'm a stalker, who knows?
Yeah, you could have got the information.
Maybe.
Online.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical, you're skeptical.
Well, especially someone famous.
Yeah, fully. Plus you can't change that, so I'm not going to do that to you.
Data dumps. Yeah.
If I told you right now to make up a random number, I'd say, get out your calculator. I'd love that. And you add it up and you do a random number. Screw calculator. I want it to be spontaneous. Would your wife know your ATM PIN code? No?
No.
Lie to me. Do not tell me your real ATM PIN code.
Okay.
Obviously, unless you want to. Make up a fake 4-digit number off the top of your head, what feels to you utterly spontaneous. Okay. When I say go, 1, 2, 3, 4-digit code, random, go.
Okay.
Say it.
2020.
2020, okay. So you ask me, how do I do what I do?
Of course, Joe.
I'm going to write down 2020.
COVID.
Okay.
It's weird, but statistically, men will lie bigger, women smaller. Men like to lie by saying things are bigger, right? No shocker.
Okay.
So I don't think I would tell you right off the jump for me that means that your first number, you don't have to say anything yet. I wrote 2020 is smaller. That's what most people do when they're rushed. If I had given you 5 minutes, you would have done this different.
No, I wouldn't have.
No, you would have.
Why would I have?
Because you would have thought about it, and then
No.
people go down a different path.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, worked out for me either way. You'll be honest if I'm right.
Okay.
I got a hit, which means it's a 0 or 1. I think the first number of your code's a 1, isn't it? Your real PIN code.
My ATM
PIN code.
Why would I tell you that on the air?
Should I only show this to you?
Sure.
Only show it to you.
Yeah.
Joe, please, dude, give us your PIN code. I need like $100, dude. Can I borrow $100? Give me your PIN code.
We acquiesced that the first number I got was correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you did repetition. So yeah, I like the fact when people always say to me it's fake when they watch the videos. They're like, you must have set up. Joe doesn't even want this to happen right now. He had no idea this was going to happen. You used 2 numbers in repeats. What that means is you probably did the same thing. You also didn't use any of the same numbers. So I know there's not a 2, a 0, or a 2 in it. I don't think so either.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching you while I say it. You put the hand up. You might as well have said yes to me out loud. So now I know.
Oh, Joe, you're so easy to read, Joe. He's reading you like a book. What is this, dude? Work on your cues, Joe. God, you're giving it away that you're lying, bro.
Of the second number.
Okay.
Third number, fourth number.
Got
Every
it.
time you did it, it's a data point.
Okay.
I'm only going to ask you one more question. I'm not looking for answers. The last number is the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm showing this to you. Is there a camera behind me? I don't want to make sure. I'm only going to show it to you. It's not 2020. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM PIN code?
Yeah.
He's not fucking happy about that, dude. He is not happy about that. Dude, what if fucking this is again, I'm not an Israel conspiracy guy, but that would be funny, right? Because he's been a little pro-Palestine, or whatever the fuck you say it. I know more about Palestine, Texas than I do about Palestine or whatever the fuck. So I bet you he's probably like thinking there's something going on here. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that it's kind of funny that he guessed a number that could technically be found out if you have the right hacking skills or whatever the fuck, whatever skills it takes to do that, rather than being like, guess this random number, like put a random number in your head that's not your PIN code. So he picked a number that he could, in theory, have gotten a hold of beforehand. So I don't know, but it is funny, the idea that this is Israel. I mean, some of these conspiracy theories are funny as fuck, guys. The idea that Israel did this to send him a warning it's God, wouldn't that be hilarious, dude?
That's weird. I'm skeptical because I've got that PIN code in the mail. You know?
He's calling his bank right now and be like,
he doesn't. Dude, you got to pick your own PIN code. So he's just letting the bank give him I did that one time. Let the bank give me just a random PIN code and went with it. But can't you set your own PIN code? I mean, the amount of money you have, Joe, you should have like a 17-digit fucking PIN code. The fuck, dude?
Like, Joe, do you know this? Has this guy been playing the long game?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Did he guess? He guesses Jamie's first crush. Do the part where he guesses Jamie's first crush. Let me see if I can find that. I haven't even seen that clip. That's insane. Guesses, but see, could you see again? In theory, you could figure this out. I mean, because to me, the way like the mediums do this shit is they gather data before they talk to you, so they have a lot of data on you. So it's not a lot of guessing. Like they'll find out a lot more about you than you realize. And then some people are stupid enough they fill out a fucking form and tell the people who they want to talk to and all that. It's like no wonder they know. So that's usually the case with these types of things, right? It's usually trickery. The guy's not really fucking able to figure out, because it's like the probability of figuring out a 4-digit number like that is it's through the fucking roof. It's through the fucking roof. Unless it's like Timothy Bucci, it's 1111 or 1234, or it's his birthday or some shit like that. Crazy, dude. That's crazy. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can find the one where he's talking about he guessed Jamie's first crush. By the way, while I'm doing this, smash the thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Appreciate it. Let's try to get this out there. Did they make a clip of this, or do I got to watch the whole fucking episode to find that part, guy? Because let me see. Let me try another search. Young Jamie first crush, Mentalist, JRE. Let's try it this way. Yeah, I'm not finding it. I mean, the search is terrible anyway. So if there are any clips of it, yeah, well, that's cool. So I mean, he did more than just guess the pin code. Then okay, maybe the guy's legit. Maybe the fucking guy is legit. Okay, Podcast Cringe or American. Okay, Podcast Cringe. Let me pull that up. I want to see this, dude. This is fascinating. So yeah, Podcast Cringe never misses on anything that Joe Rogan does. I should have known. It should be in Podcast Cringe. I think I saw it in my feed earlier. Mind blowing Jay. Yeah, this guy, right?
Yeah. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM pin code?
Yeah.
All right. We'll watch this. We'll give Podcast Cringe a little shout out here and watch his content. He's commented on my shit before. I get really jealous of these guys, the Podcast Cringes and the Too Lazy to Tries and all them. I get real jealous because they're doing so well, and I'm like just in limbo trying to figure out how to survive on this algorithm. But a lot of them are pretty cool. Like this guy's been pretty cool to me. Let's go full screen.
That's weird.
He's calling his bank right now and being like, yo, do you know this? Has this guy been playing the long game?
Yeah, I don't like that.
If there's one thing I've learnt about Joe Rogan over the years, it's that he doesn't like it when he's not in control. And it makes sense, right? Like all comedians, Joe's an expert at reading the room and understanding the intricacies of human behavior to a level that us mere pedestrians just aren't capable of understanding. So when investment banker turned mentalist Oz Perlman hit the studio...
No, my password recovery is... My first crush, God, it's hard to remember who your first crush was.
This week,
I have to go back to like kindergarten or something. Like every grade, I had a chick that I was crushing on. But I think it's probably I'd have to remember who I had a crush on in kindergarten.
Rogan was skeptical, to say the least. At first, he thought he was being duped by one of his mentally ill fans who had been going through his mail and hacking into his mainframe to steal his data and read his private emails.
Is that what, I mean, that is insane if that's what's going on.
But then once Rogan realized that Perlman's social and observational skills were on par with a professional comedian, he suddenly let his guard down and began to open up to him as if he was in the green room at the comedy mothership.
Because we've talked about it a bunch, comics. I'm like, I think we're hypnotizing people because I feel hypnotized when someone's killing.
Come on, Joe, you're killing us. But Oz Perlman isn't...
It's not, I don't think it's the comedians hypnotizing people. It's the crowd. Right? You get a crowd of people together. They all have the expectation of laughing. The moment anything slightly funny happens, you got the people who will laugh at everything. You know them. I have aunts that will laugh at every joke I make, no matter how bad it is. Those people start laughing. And then that's where like the mob crowd mentality where everybody joins in and everybody lets loose and they're just willing to laugh. They're just like ready to laugh. So it's easy to make those type of people laugh. I don't think it's the comic is doing it. It's the mob mentality of being in a crowd where people are laughing that does it.
Isn't a hypnotist or a psychic mind reader. He practices mentalism, which is basically the fine art of reading body language and subliminal communication. He'll ask you to think of a number and then ask you a bunch of questions about the number while looking for visual cues or changes in your body language when saying certain words to ascertain the exact number you were thinking of in the first place. It's pretty insane when you think about it, but some of you may have already seen him on America's Got Talent or on his various talk show and media appearances. He even won an Emmy for his mentalism travel show Oz Knows back in 2018.
I've never heard of this guy before.
And if you saw his appearance on Howard Stern late last year, you'll know he's legit. That shit was actually crazy. But amongst all the gags he pulled on Rogan throughout the 2.5 hours, the best part for me was when he corrected Joe and set him straight about something that I've been pointing out for a while on this channel, as well as my main channel, Podcast Cringe. So stick around for that. I'll take you through the details towards the end.
See how I'm getting more jealous because this guy just started a new channel, Podcast Cringe Bites. And he's already getting, he's literally just started this channel like, I don't know, a week or ago or something like that. He's already getting 100,000 views on every fucking video. I'm telling you, there is a Rogan algorithm that I was allowed in for a while. They have kicked me out of that algorithm. Because I make sometimes the same I've seen titles from these guys. They're the same fucking titles, same topics as me. I get no algorithmic love. These guys get it all. Now, I understand why people like them. Because a lot of people click my videos. They don't want a parody cut. They want a clip from Joe Rogan. So people like that. That's probably why this is, because people want these type of clips. Like they want to see what happened on the show. It's like, it makes sense that people like this shit. But it's frustrating for me that to see these people getting in this algorithm and I can't even get in it anymore. I'm completely pushed out. Like to the point where they can start a whole new channel with no followers, and like overnight 30,000. And then I look at the like to view ratio, and it's like not even that good. Which tells me this is getting views more because the algorithm is pushing it rather than like the audience is going crazy about it. Because I mean, at 100,000 views in 8 hours to only have 3.9K likes, I would expect that to be closer to like 8 to 10%. In my experience, when I've had big videos, the longer that 10% like to view ratio holds up, like the better the video is doing, right? So once you see it already at like 4% like to view ratio or 5%, I'll give it an extra percent. Like, it's just the algorithm putting it in front of a ton of people. But no shade on this guy. Like I said, this guy's said nice things about me. He's a good guy. I'm happy he's having success. I would just like to have some success again too. So I'm jealous. Because look, I'm too honest with you fucking guys. You guys don't understand. I don't think a lot of people understand that I'm not playing any fucking games and I speak my mind, good or bad. And I think that triggers a lot of people. But yes, I am a jealous bitch when it
just over 15 minutes into the podcast when he blew Joe's mind for the first time.
If I told you right now to make up a random number, I'd say, get out your calculator. I'd love that. And you add it up and you do a random number. Screw calculator. I want it to be spontaneous. Would your wife know your ATM PIN code? No?
Okay, we saw this one. Let's get to the Jamie part.
15 minutes into the podcast, sensation ever.
Most people don't know what a mentalist is. You go on the street, 100 people, how many people are going to say yeah?
I have a second ATM card.
That's funny.
Leave that for the end, huh?
You want to try it again?
Not yet. I don't like to do the same thing. I got to do better stuff.
I want to see it again, though. I want to see if you could do it again.
All right, before.
So obviously Joe's skeptical. So he's like, okay, if you did it with this one, let's prove that you didn't just get access to that info somehow through the dark web or some shit. Let's prove you can do it with the second one. I don't think they did, though. I haven't heard that he did it twice.
Before we go, how about that? Not right now. We're in flow.
Okay.
But
I'm trying to throw you off.
You could. Listen, I don't get it right every time. That's the other part. A magic trick works every time. This doesn't.
That was 15 minutes later, and Joe was still stuck on the ATM card. But after a while, Oz turned his attention to young Jamie and wanted to see if he could guess the name of his first crush.
Buddhist priest says the swear words. Yeah, it's hard for me not to swear because I'm speaking from my mind. Like if I come prepared, like if I talk the way I normally talk, I'm going to say a lot of fucks, a lot of bad words. So I think it's a trade-off to being more authentic and being able to just speak and be present in the moment and not be like prepared and rehearsed. But and there's plenty of channels that curse a lot that don't get dinged. I'm gonna try to get this quick because I know people hate when I talk about this shit. Just look at YouTube's own policies, their borderline violative content, their new policy changes when it comes to AI content. I'm not, even though I just use AI for a little bit of special effects now, I have to put as like so it's misinformation, it's borderline violative content. It's, any of my cuts that have been sexual, like there's a lot of them, a lot of the jokes are sexual. Then I get listed as a sexual, edgy channel. So there's a lot of labels that YouTube will put on a channel behind the scenes that will limit its reach because it's not family friendly, advertiser friendly, whatever bullshit reasons they have. That is what I think is going on with YouTube. It's just, I've got a lot of baggage in 7 years and I've got a lot of labels on my channel. And every time I try to talk to YouTube about it, they just will not admit that that's what's going on, even though they've publicly spoken about how they do this. And to their own, the way they've spoke about it, it could easily be applied to me as well, which I think is what's going on.
Crush.
Okay, hold on. Look this way at me. I want you, without using your fingers, to count the number of letters in this person's name.
The real name or the character's name? I don't know if that matters.
I don't know. I've never had a fictional character as my first crush. The number of...
Let's start this over.
Name of his first crush.
Okay, hold on. Look this way at me. I want you, without using your fingers, to count the number of letters in this person's name.
The real name or the character's name? I don't know if that matters.
I don't know. I've never had a fictional character as my first crush. This guy got weird. I don't know. Whatever name you went with.
I mean, that's maybe his first memory is of watching TV and some chick that was on the TV and he got a crush on her. That's very believable. Most of the time, like the first women that you're attracted to as a kid are like what you see on television.
I don't say it out loud. Oh, don't say it. Oh, don't tell. Oh man, don't tell me. Don't give me any more clues.
You're not going to figure it out.
Good. All right. You know what? Do this. Joe, I want you to see this. Should we get a piece of paper, write down? There's mics everywhere.
Okay.
Screw it. Don't even write down. Don't even write down. No, not you. I was going to have him write it down.
Okay.
It's got all over the place. Jamie wants this to go wrong.
He does. I do too.
I don't know if this is the real name or the fake name anymore. Mix up the letters and stop like Scrabble tiles. Freeze and grab out a letter somewhere in the name. Maybe grab one out of the middle.
Okay.
You got it?
Sure.
He did too, and he switched.
I was trying to look to you.
No, you did shifty eyes. He did this one and then this one. You didn't do a vowel, did you?
I don't know.
Well, you can tell me.
Yes, I did.
You did a vowel after all that? A-E-I-O-U, look at me.
The first one I picked.
And you went to the end. The last letter is a vowel, though, isn't it?
Sometimes.
It is. Here we go. I'm gonna
Sometimes why?
Yeah, that's the only way. Sometimes a vowel.
A-E-I-O-U and sometimes why?
So essentially, this guy is looking at Jamie as he asks him these questions and reading his body language and facial reactions and knowing whether he's lying or not and deducing from the lie what the truth is. Is it an act, though? Is it all a big fucking act? Is it Tomb Raider? That's what your name says. Is it Tomb Raider? I mean, that would make sense. Jamie's around the age Lara Croft, pretty hot video game character.
Take a look. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay.
Was it 9 letters? The name is 9 letters long, isn't it?
The real person's name is 9 letters.
Yeah. What's her name, this first crush? Saw her on TV.
Her real name is Christine.
Christine is what I wrote down. Christine is...
I don't know. I have to fucking think there's something more going on here. There's some other shady shit, some other way he's gathering this information.
What I wrote down.
Like, I bet you he found some post from Jamie from like 20 years ago on Facebook or some shit, or he found some MySpace post from Jamie talking about this.
Her fake name's Melody from Hey Dude.
You don't have to tell me, I know.
I know, just saying. Christine
Hey Dude, that was a Nickelodeon show, right? I think I remember that.
Taylor.
How did you know?
There's this.
Wait, hold on. Right now, I want to try this. Here's what I want to try. Joe, how many people? How many people?
What just happened?
Wait, see, this is the smart thing to do. You got to stop cussing. You got to bleep out all your cuss words. This is why I do it to the supercuts now. Everybody complains, "Oh, why do you get rid of the cuss words? Oh, this sucks. I don't want to watch it. It's censored." I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get it to where people will actually see it. It's like you have no choice.
Where did I put this?
Are you an alien?
Hold on.
Do you work for the CIA?
I got to take a leak like crazy.
That is peak JRE. And how about young Jamie with the hot crush on Christine Taylor? I think that was way more impressive than the PIN code guess. I kind of get how he guessed the 4
I think my first celebrity crush was Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh, God, she was...
digits, but guessing a whole name seemed like straight up magic to me. He basically had 9 letters and a vowel in the middle and the end of the word to go off. Geez, imagine this guy on Wheel of Fortune. He ended up doing the same thing again, but he handed Rogan a list of his last 50 guests and told him to pick one of them and then message them to ask who their first crush was. Then he got Joe to call them and ask a few questions, similar to what he was asking Jamie, and then he guessed the name of...
Okay, but he's controlling a list of 50. He said his 50 last guests. So again, he is controlling the game in a way by saying, okay, within these 50 people, I'll have to figure out as many of, I have to do the research. He's probably got AI fucking doing some sort of, because AI is crazy. It can go through so much data. You can have the AI find this information if you got the right data for it to search through, right? So if you can come up, same way I can search all of Rogan's episodes and find something Rogan said 8 years ago. I mean, you might be able to do something similar with AI to where you can quickly research all these guests and find all the ones that have talked about who their first crush was publicly on social media, or maybe even on podcasts, because you can search the transcripts of podcasts. So yeah, this is doable for this to be not like some sort of magic mentalist shit, but he's just doing the research beforehand. And if he's got to go on the dark web to find somebody's ATM pin, he's willing to do that. I don't know. That's my theory. If I had to bet on it, that would be my bet. Hunter Vex with $2. Guess my celebrity crush. Hunter Vex. Let me see. Hunter Vex's picture is of a black gentleman, I believe, in a bathtub covered in pizza, I think. So that would tell me that your first crush, Hunter Vex, was Will Smith. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Their crush and got it right. Even after all of that, later on in the podcast.
Thank you for the tip. Tax-free tip, guys. Tax-free. Send me some more tax-free tips, boys. Eventually, I'll get out of this tax debt if I can just make a few years of tax-free income and stop owing more money every year.
He actually guessed the person who Rogan called, and of course it was Shane Gillis, which was crazy because all he had to go off was Shane's response saying Joe should kill Oz because he's a witch. Then he gathered it was a comedian and somehow drew a link to protect our parks, which led him to Gillis. But earlier on in the video,
he picked Shane Gillis. Is that who he picked of his last? Oh.
I said the best part for me was when Oz pulled up Rogan on something that's been bugging me for a while now. Remember when Guy Fieri was telling Joe about his dead dad and how he was seeing a medium who knew that his father had been reincarnated?
If you didn't see this, everybody was talking about this. Basically, he was saying his dad came to him as an owl or some shit, and then Joe's like, owls are stupid. It was like this real deep moment, and Joe just like completely shit all over it.
Incarnated as a wise owl, but Rogan couldn't help himself and said, why would he be an owl? Owls are dumb as shit. Straight after that, Joe cut Guy off and brought up the telepathy tapes. Remember this lady from earlier on in the year?
I mean, there's one young girl I'm thinking of in particular.
All right, so how's this? I will see how this connects.
But there's this again. This has come up now with.
In case you guys don't know, this is Podcast Cringe's new channel, Podcast Cringe Bites. Go subscribe. I'm sure you've already got it in your algorithm multiple times, so I'm sure you already know about it.
I don't know, 15 non-speakers that I've met. And she started spelling in a language, and they didn't know what it is, so they looked it up, and it was Portuguese. And she also said she knew hieroglyphics. And
what?
Yeah. And then they were like, well, how do we test this? Because if we know the answer, she'll read our mind and know. So they had to just...
I remember this. So this chick was like... apparently there's a ton of like autist supermen or super people that can read minds and fucking, yeah.
Which is wild. Wow. All of them 100% accurate?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
Hey, what do you mean stop talking about my tax moves? They're the ones trying to make tips is tax-free. And to be honest, this is, if you send me money on here, it is a tip. That's what it is. I don't know how they can consider it anything other than a tip. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hope that tips are this is considered tips.
And I'm not saying
because you're not paying for anything. You're just giving me money to support. How can it not be considered a tip?
Of course not.
What the hell is going on there? That's beyond bizarre. Did you give her cuneiform?
I mean, I wasn't there for this. I her mom reported it to me, and it has the email that she received from the staff. And so, the staff is just like, this is what happened today.
I've pointed this out in my Guy Fieri video as well, but like you just heard there, most of these instances of nonverbal children communicating in different languages and showing signs of telepathy are anecdotal stories sent in from educators and parents. That was the first red flag for me personally, but when Joe brought it up with Oz Perlman, I realized that this whole thing was way worse than I initially thought.
Have you heard of the telepathy tapes?
Yeah, so that... I know you had her in here, but have you watched the videos? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's wild.
No, I'm the opposite. I do not think that's real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Why?
Well, have you
Tell me
watched,
about what the videos.
They're holding, in many instances, in that form of communication, the person who knows the information is holding the letters. Do you understand what I'm saying? What they're doing is like not bulletproof at all with the kids. And again, God bless, if I had a child in that condition, for not one
yeah, it's another scam. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I could have guessed that one. But somebody's saying, oh, there's people with these superhuman powers. It's believable when you say they're autistic. That's what makes it believable. Because autistic people do have like crazy talents that are really hard to explain. But this is going a little far. This is like, oh, actually, autistic people are like X-Men. They can fucking read your mind across the other side of the planet. It's like, okay, yeah, of course. Too good to be true. I think we played these. Let's get to this Dave Portnoy. We'll do the Dave Portnoy meltdown. I almost thinking about making a fucking documentary on Portnoy. I looked up like all of his controversies. Like that dude is always getting himself in trouble. But no, let's focus on the state of Texas and the completely idiotic Republicans who are running this state. So the problem with Texas Republicans is that they are neocons. And they hate progress. They hate freedom. They hate weed. Okay, they've always hated weed. Now, this is one of the biggest jokes of a press conference I've ever seen in my life. This guy they're doing nothing but lying the whole fucking time, and I got receipts to prove they're lying. And somehow this shit is on its way to being passed. So basically in Texas, we finally got some version of legal weed through hemp, okay? So they legalized hemp, and people found a really smart way to increase like the effects of hemp, so that things like THCA, I use it. Here's an example. Still not illegal yet. I can show it. This is a THCA gummy, right? The brand Zombie, whatever, Tropical Punch. This is what we have legal in Texas now. This will fuck you up. This is pretty hard to distinguish from the real shit. And they did that using hemp-derived products, which technically made it legal. That's what they're getting rid of. So finally, and it's not as strong as the regular shit, all right? It's not. It's not as strong as real weed. It has less paranoia. It's actually, there's some ways that it's kind of better because it's not as strong. So it's kind of perfect. And the people that are using this shit in Texas right now, there's a lot of veterans suffering from PTSD, a lot of people who are just getting a lot of health benefits from it, and me who just enjoys, a good edible because it's fun. But like my uncle, he recently died of lung cancer. The dude was going through chemo. He couldn't eat. He couldn't get an appetite. He couldn't sleep. He got some gummies from the local fucking head shop, similar to what I had, probably not as strong. Dude was able to get some sleep. Dude was able to fucking get an appetite back so he could eat. Unfortunately, he passed away. He had the worst lung cancer, stage 4 or whatever. And, but dude, it was one of the few things that made his life a little bit better before he died. Okay. And not to mention, Republicans are supposed to be about freedom, but no, they're getting rid of this and they're replacing it with this thing called the Teacup Act, which is kind of funny. The Teacup Act. And it's like the Texas Compassionate Use Program. So you can still get, if you can get a doctor's approval, you can get weed from like these 12 licensed distributors, dispensaries around Texas. There's something weird going on with this. There's some sort of scam con being played with this because none of this is adding up. So we're going to get into it too. Like, who are these people taking money from? Are there any connections to this, the like 3 companies that are going to be licensed in this teacup program? And I mean, by the way, isn't it like Republicans to be like, oh, you want marijuana? You're a little teacup that can't survive without a little weed. Oh, pain's too much for you. You want weed? Let's call it the teacup program. These little teacups. I don't know. I think that is kind of funny. Maybe not. But let's listen to them. Let's see what they have to say about it. Let's see. I haven't seen anything as bad as this since I watched fucking Reefer Madness, okay?
This is all sold. Even the senators haven't seen all of this. It's all
Right, wrong
sold for
one.
kids. Designed for kids and adults.
All right, let me get the volume up. Start it over. Now, I know it's much more in the left ear, so if you are only listening through right ear right now, you're probably barely going to hear this. This is their audio, okay?
This is all sold. Even the senators haven't seen all of this. It's all sold for kids.
No, it's not sold for kids. When you go into these dispensaries, it's just like in a convenience store. When you're trying to buy beer or cigarettes, you have to show your ID. They're usually not just, they're not like sold on the shelf like where anybody can just go fucking grab them. Okay? It's first of all, he's already lying. He's already lying. This is just the first lie. And I'll just disprove it real quick so you can see I have some receipts on this shit. Here's the guy who makes this product.
Hey everybody, Lucas here with Hometown Hero. Right now, the Lieutenant Governor is holding a press conference and just spitting out lies like he always does. So he just held up one of our products, this exact product, and said it had 6,000 milligrams, which it does not. Lieutenant Governor also said that all the products that he had on that table are a variety of deltas, and he said Delta 10, Delta 6, a whole bunch of stuff. It is very clearly stated what this is. 20 milligrams Delta 9 THC and 20 milligrams CBD per piece. He said the ingredients, we don't know what's in it. All of the ingredients, every single ingredient are right there. All the nutrition panels. There's a COA per state law in Texas because this is a regulated product by the state of Texas per HB 1325, which Senator Perry passed. Again, this is a guy that has absolutely no clue what he is talking about. I'm embarrassed that we vote him into office. And please help us get rid of this guy next time he comes up for election. I'm tired of dealing with this.
Okay, so he just debunked a bunch of things that we're going to get into here. But yeah, it's all bullshit. I'm very familiar with these things, okay? It lists the amount, it lists the type of THC, how it's made. This is a Delta 8 derived THC plus THCA. It has the ingredients. It has the calories. It tells you, it even tells you as a new user where you should start taking it, like how much you should start taking. It's got all the warnings. It is completely heavily regulated. The only danger is that new users, right? Because this is going up like poison control call centers. People are fucking calling poison control centers because they're taking. It's like the first time if you take a whole one of these, it might be a little uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to the feelings of weed, right? It happens, especially with edibles. People take too much and they freak out. Their heart starts racing, you know. And so they're calling these poison control centers. And, you know, it's like, no, you're not going to die. Relax. Just go drink some chamomile fucking tea and keep yourself busy. Keep your mind occupied. You'll be fine. And next time, start with a small amount and build up. Don't just start with the fucking whole thing. So, yeah, that is just an education thing. That is just, again, there's always going to be people that are going to overindulge, just like with alcohol and anything else. People are going to overindulge and fucking act like idiots. But the answer is to educate people so that they understand, like, okay, you know, if you are going to do it, and this might be the side effect. The side effect is you take too much, you might have a little bit of anxiety, and you might feel like your heart's racing, and you might, you know, if you take too much, you might feel like you're going to die. You're not going to die. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. That's really the worst case scenario with this shit, is you take too much, okay? And you have a fucking, what they call a green out. It sucks. I've been there. But I've also learned how to manage it. Here's a tip. If you are there, chamomile tea, not caffeine. A lot of times, it's, for me, whenever it's really bad, is because I've had a ton of caffeine and then I take too many edibles. That is like, it's a bad combination. So chamomile tea, move around, keep yourself busy, play a video game. Like, don't just sit there. Like, if you keep your mind occupied, it'll be no problem. Most of the time.
Designed for kids and adults. This little bag of jellies, mango peach, $90 for a bag.
That's actually not bad. The prices are pretty good.
Send you sky high.
I'm going to try that brand.
We have no idea. Some of these things are so mislabeled, and the police will talk about that in a moment.
But none of these things are mislabeled. They're so heavily regulated, dude. They say they're not regulated, all this bullshit. Again, I'll let it play.
No one knows what's in any of this.
Everybody knows what's in it. It's on the fucking label, dude. It has to be it's regulated because you can't send a product over that has like more than a certain amount of THC in it. So it's all passing regulation before it gets approved and sold. It is regulated.
This is why we passed Senate Bill 3. This is why the House passed Senate Bill 3, to ban these products. Sour bells, slices.
This is the same argument they made about keeping it illegal in fucking Colorado and all that. Oh, well, the edibles are candies and the kids are going to think they're candies. And it's like, dude, like, well, what the fuck? Okay, then don't, make it illegal to sell edibles as candies. Like, what do they got to be? Like edible cheeseburgers so that kids don't like edibles are food. I'm sorry. Okay. And it's the responsibility of the parent, of the user, to make sure it never comes close to a kid and you keep it locked up and secure. And if somebody has an issue where their kids get into their edibles, yeah, they should be in trouble for that.
How about gummy worms? Gummy worms.
No, they're not high. Somebody says, I'm high right now, Senator. Well, I am high right now, Senator. But I guarantee you these guys are all drunk. They're all drunk or they're all on some pharmaceutical pills, dude.
This is what parents, you need to tell this story so that parents understand the 8,000 shops have been put in Texas in the last 3 years, many of them without permits.
So this is a bad thing now? A growing industry that there's a lot of demand for? That's a bad thing? A bunch of jobs being created, a bunch of money being spent, a bunch of people being able to live their lives the way they want and not be criminalized for it when they're not even fucking harming anybody?
Selling this to their kids to destroy their kids. And why would drug dealers seize Texas?
Then fucking, okay, look, the local shop I go to, they have cops going there all the time trying to buy with no ID. They get my ID every time. They're flipped out about it because if they just one person they don't get an ID from and it happens to be a cop, it's the same thing they do to the convenience stores. They're not selling this shit to fucking kids, dude.
Because they found a loophole in the hemp bill, which Charles Perry will talk about. And they want to hook our generation of young people today for a lifetime of drugs, and you need to sell that story. This is what it's all about. And it's not just kids.
Texas is going to turn blue. I mean, because even Republicans aren't for this, dude. Most Republicans are, you know, the new Republican movement, not the old neocon losers, which is a dying breed, but yet they're still in power, even though they're a dying breed. They're all for legalization, full legalization of marijuana. I mean, we just lucky we got this, and now you're going to take this away?
Buying this, adults buy it, give it to kids, adults.
By the way, I was a kid. I had no problem getting weed without it being legal. So if a kid wants to get weed, they're going to fucking get weed. That's the sad reality of the world. No matter how much you want to ban something and get it out of the way, like, people are going to do what they want to do. All you're doing is criminalizing them now.
Buy for themselves. We had horrendous testimony of one 22-year-old who bought this.
They find the, like, most colorful products, right? Like, if it has pink in it, that means it's for children. Oh, maybe it's strawberry flavor, you fuckhead. So now you can't color it the color of strawberry flavor so people can see, oh, red strawberry flavor. Oh, green's fucking watermelon. Oh, fucking, you know, yellow is or orange is orange. Like, this is such disingenuous horseshit, dude.
I don't know what product it was. I think she said wedding cake. He stepped in front of a train and got run over, killed.
Wait. I'm sorry if that's true. I'm sorry for your loss, but come on, man. Come on, dude.
What product it was? One 22-year-old who bought this. I don't know what product it was. I think she said wedding cake. He stepped in front of a train and got run over, killed.
Okay, so I mean, if we're gonna, if that one story is enough to legalize a whole industry that is growing and booming and making people happy and giving people the freedom to fucking address their own symptoms with a very non-addictive, simple substance, then we should do the same thing with alcohol. Because there's plenty of people that get drunk and fucking die because they're drunk or kill somebody because they're drunk, but we allow people to drink. It's okay. You can drink. You can drink. Now, a lot of people are saying that he's probably bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical industry. We're going to look into that. It's not the pharmaceutical industry, boys. He is getting money from somebody who would benefit from this, but it's not the pharmaceutical industry.
This is serious business. This is not Dan's folly. This is not Dan's priority. This is to save an entire generation of being hooked on drugs. And I need for y'all to take this story seriously.
He does kind of look high right now. I'll be honest, he looks high, but it's probably prescription medication. His doctor's probably got him on the best drugs.
Seriously. Because does anyone want to try any of this?
I do. Throw it over here.
Would you buy anything off the shelf that you didn't know what was in it?
But you do know what's in it. If you can read, I mean, is this hypothetical person, are they capable of reading?
That could change your whole mental state for the rest of your life. Would you want that? Anybody want this bag?
Change your whole mental state for the rest of your life. Yeah, you might actually be a calm, cool, collected person. Dude, this is a reefer madness shit. You take this and you're going to be a schizophrenic. You're going to be a schizophrenic for the rest of your life. I mean, you probably were already going to be a schizophrenic if that's the case.
Okay, you want it?
You're going to arrest that guy now?
I don't think you want it. You wouldn't dare buy it. You wouldn't
dare buy it. You haven't sold anybody on how dangerous this is. Everybody's probably leaving this and going, you know what? I'm going to go try these edibles. Look at her. I mean, I don't even think she's taking it serious.
Let your children, your grandchildren buy it. And by the way, come September, all this will be illegal anyway.
I hope fucking not. It's on the desk of Governor Abbott. And if Governor Abbott is not a fucking moron, he will veto this. He will veto this. I mean, the writing is on the wall. It's like 10% support for this, 90% against this. You would be doing the most unpopular move you could possibly do. It's like if you had a board and it had 100 moves on there, which move would be the most unpopular move with the people? That's the move you're fucking doing.
So I'll be turning this over to the police before I leave here. You don't know what's in it.
He's on some sort of drug or he's been drinking.
No one knows what's in it. This is not a game.
No one knows what's in it. Everybody knows what's in it, dude. It's regulated. It's not like it's just fucking somebody's buying it off the street. It's regulated. The ingredients are on the package. Everything is made clear on every package. So that is just a straight up lie that's easily debunked, but yet he has no problem saying it.
In essence, the loopholes for Delta 8 and Delta 10 that were created around the natural hemp of Delta 9, they have come into this state and used our state to be a drug dealer. And we will not let the state of Texas be in the drug business of making.
Again, I mean, the way we distinguish between drugs, Texas is in a lot of the drug business. It just drives me nuts, dude. It just drives me nuts. How do we have people this fucking dumb and out of touch running things?
Making these products available on the shelves. Charles Perry, let me turn it to you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And we started this session with this issue, and I never doubted the legislature would respond. The vote to ban stuff that arguably nobody can argue against is harmful. Reflects a conscience.
Nobody can argue against is harmful. You can barely hear this retard.
Ag conversation. There's a narrative out there that about this. But if you're doing hemp that ultimately ended up as a Delta 8 or a Delta 10 or hot going forward, you're out of business. And you should be.
There's a ton of people that have opened these businesses that are fucking going to be totally screwed over now because they just spent a bunch of money to invest in this. And if they take it away, it's just like, I can think of like 2 of them that are close by me that cool people work there. They have a job. They're not harming the fucking community. I don't know. It's just kind of sad.
I'm proud of the way the Texas legislature took this on. This is not easy.
The guy can barely even talk, dude. The guy can barely even fucking talk, dude. What are you on? You on the Jordan Peterson special? You on some Xannies, boy? You on some Xannies?
Easy, right? You've got people that have invested a lot of time and energy and monies in these businesses, but they were forewarned, don't do what you did, or this would be the day we're here. So I can't say enough about Lieutenant Governor's support on this, but mainly I had a legislature that I said reflected a conscience. We have
no one wants to hear you
Delta
talk.
9, the .3, these products are Delta 8, Delta 10. It can be almost anything. No.
What does that mean? It's just a different strain of it's the same fucking thing, dude. There's a reason why it's so popular. Because they've scientifically, some chemists figured out a way to make it legal where it's still fucking weed, but it passes the fucking legal threshold. Delta 8, Delta 10, I mean, who cares, dude? It's still just weed. It still has the same effects as weed. It's just, it may not be as strong as the original stuff.
No one knows what's in any of these bags. The ingredients make no sense.
Actually, I don't know about Delta 10. I don't know about that. I'll speak about THCA because there was a THC 0 that came out that I fucking hated. That was like you either felt nothing or you greened out. So there were some weird ones that came out. But right now, the people are figuring out the good ones, and it's THCA. Whatever the fuck that's made out of. THCA is fucking amazing.
Sense. The milligrams, if you look at this one says 300 milligrams, but if you add up what it really says, it could be 1,200 milligrams. This is all phony junk.
No, they all easily list. Every single one I've gotten, it's the same thing. It lists on the bag the total amount. So that's the total amount of the package, 5,000 milligrams. And then you could easily, figure out, there's 20 pieces, so that's, whatever the amount per piece. Every single one has that, dude. So like their argument is so bad that they have no facts. They're just making shit up.
That for the last 3 years people have been able to buy through Delta 8, Delta 10, and infused in drinks as well.
No.
This is why we banned it. Now you see why.
Not banned yet. Fucking Patrick, you better step up and fucking veto that shit, dude. You're gonna turn Texas blue. When Texas turns blue, there's only one person responsible for that. You dumbasses.
Of the 8,000 plus locations, and again, our undercover investigation, probably less of them even have a permit. Why these?
Okay, well then tell them to get a permit then.
Almost all of them are within 1,000.
Then shut down the ones without a fucking permit then.
2,000 feet of schools.
Like, I don't know if one of the guys was saying, well, the big problem is that it's not regulated. And it's like, well, first of all, it is regulated. And if that's the big problem, then just fucking regulate it. Then just regulate it then. Stop, you're banning it. So if the big problem is not regulated, then why ban it? Just regulate it. What regulations are missing? Add those regulations. The reality is, it is already regulated. So that's a complete lie on its face, man.
So don't let them tell you that we didn't target kids. What do you think this targets? And this targets adults too. I mean,
Of course, that's what they're doing. They're targeting kids. I mean, the same argument could be made for any convenience store that's selling beer, right? Because it's exactly the same. They sell it the same way convenience stores sell beer or cigarettes. You can, if there's somebody that's selling them to fucking children, then do the same thing you would do to a convenience store that's selling shit to children. Okay?
you know, grown men sit down and eat a snack, popcorn, candy while they're watching a game. They buy it too.
So now what the idea is that people buy this not even knowing there's weed in it? Like some dumbass dude just gets off work and just happens to go to a very clearly labeled shop that has to do with weed, where the weed is basically the main, like you can't walk into these shops and know. I guess some convenience stores sell them too, but they're not sold in the same spot as regular food. They're usually behind a glass. Like, you know, those like mom and pop Indian owned convenience stores where they have like a whole glass where you can buy knives, you can buy bongs, like they're convenience stores like that. Right. But again, I've never seen one that's selling them to fucking children. Okay. Same way they don't sell cigarettes or beer to children. It sucks to even have to like dispute this because it's so obviously just lies, dude. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I have no reason to lie. These guys do.
I want to turn this over. I'm going to come back to Charles and our teacup program. But Chief Burt, where's the chief? Here you are, Chief, from Tomball. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
This guy is the biggest fucking joke. This chief, this fucking cop from Tomball. This is Barney Fife reincarnated.
Yeah, let me put you in the middle here, next to Senator Huffman.
Boy, that's awkward.
Good afternoon. I'm Jeff.
Just hold up a little high.
Yeah, that's boy. There's some awkward shit going on here.
I'm Jeff Burt. I'm the chief of police in the city of Tomball, and thank you for having me here today. On behalf of the Texas Police Chiefs Association and really law enforcement across the state of Texas, I want to thank the House, the Senate, and Lieutenant Governor for having the courage, the conviction, the wisdom, and the character to do something about an epidemic.
I bet you what happened is one of these fucks' kids or their grandkids took too much of one of these edibles and probably like came home all fucked up. And they're like, what's wrong? And the kid's probably having a panic attack, some 15-year-old kid. And he's like, I'm sorry, granddaddy. I'm sorry, Daddy Dan. I took too much. My friends, I had to do it. My friends wanted me to do it. And then they're like having a panic attack. And they're like, I think I'm dying. I think I'm dying, Daddy. And he's like, oh my God, I have to ban these things right away. Or maybe that happened to old Dan here. Maybe Dan went into a head shop, bought some, and couldn't handle the high. There are some people weed's not for. There are some people that weed is not for. Just like with alcohol. There are some people that should never drink because the way they act when they're drunk is just, it's not something you want to keep doing. But I have a feeling. And then this cop, this is the type of, this cop right here is the exact reason why you can't drive through a small town without getting pulled over. I love a lot of Texas small towns. Do not drive through a Texas small town with weed. Okay? Because the percentage, you know, if you've driven through Texas, like you'll run through these little towns, like you're going through, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, speed limits goes from 80 to 65 to 45 to 35, and then there's a little fucking convenience store and a stop and a light, and then you're gone. The town's gone. Those towns, they're just constantly looking for people to pull over, and they will throw the book at you with weed. Now, a big city in Texas, they usually don't give a shit. But this is the cop that will do that to you. This is the cop when you're just traveling, and oh, you didn't get to 35 fast enough. You didn't get from 70 down to 35. You hit the 35 speed sign, going 40. There you go. You got a ticket, and you better not have any weed, or you're going to jail. And these guys are going to make a little money off you.
Epidemic in our state. I've been in Texas for 5 years.
That's probably his problem. That's his problem. He's not able to arrest and make money off of all these potheads anymore. They're losing revenue. They're losing fucking revenue. I bet you that's what it is. Because they probably had a steady revenue of just pulling people over, busting them for pot, giving them a fine, probation, community service, all the things. And now they don't have that little revenue source because people have legal weed now. That's the problem.
24 years for the last 24 years prior to that, I lived in Los Angeles. I was
with this cop. These other guys, I think they're getting, there's some financial incentive here. We'll get to that next.
LAPD and worked a few narcotics units, and I saw
when marijuana was legalized, and then the hemp products and gummies and all this and edibles came in, and it was unregulated havoc, and it wreaked havoc on a state that is still feeling its repercussions. And in
It wreaked havoc. People got a little high and got the munchies. Holy shit.
Texas, we are better than that. We have to be better than that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. No, we are better than that. We're better than you and your fucking nanny state bullshit, not allowing people to have freedom. We're better than that.
What they said in front of you, as a guy who raised 4 daughters with my wife, I read every label on everything. And
Yeah, they got the biggest idiot and tomboy they could find, Colt C.
I think Texas are smart. People are smart consumers. We are. We can tell you what's in a bag of Cheetos and in a bag of, in a Snickers. I can't tell you what's in here.
Again, this is a lie. It's maybe because you're too dumb to read. Maybe because you can't do the research to understand what Delta 8 THC is. And maybe you're too dumb to understand the process. Like, go do some research, retard. Right? The bag's too confusing to understand. Like, you look at it and you go, oh, I don't understand. Delta 8 THC plus THCA. I don't know. What is this? Oh, we don't know what's in here. Do some research. You're telling me you can't hire? Like, let's say you really didn't know what's in there. Or there's a question as to, is it what's in here is what they're saying is in here. I've already seen people do this. People on their own dime will take these things to a lab and figure out exactly what's in there. You know, if try to figure out how clean it is, if there's any the shit they spray on the plants to keep the bugs away or whatever, any like toxic fucking pesticides in there or anything like that. But regular people can do that. You're telling me the state of Texas, the lieutenant governor and the city of Tomball, whoever, you can't just run a fucking analysis in a lab to figure out what the fuck is in there? Are you stupid? And that's your selling point? Your selling point is we're too stupid to know what's in here, so we have to ban it. You're lying through your... It's so obvious, dude. Like, you couldn't even... you should at least paid me. Look, I would have helped you. I need money. Pay me. I could have came up with a way better fucking scary story for why weed needs to be banned than this in about 2 hours. Okay? This is fucking terrible.
This right in front of you is a drug deal. That's all it is. And it's the most insidious kind of drug.
When you go and buy coffee from Starbucks, that's a drug deal. Exactly what it is. So next we're shutting down Starbucks. People got to stop drinking coffee, getting all hopped up. Next thing you know, they go rob a car and shoot somebody in the face. That damn coffee.
Deal. Because it isn't somebody that sneaks off when a police officer sees him or her and runs into an apartment and we go chasing. They're selling this in gas stations right next.
That's what he wants. He wants some guy going down the street with a dime bag. He wants them to become a criminal so he can chase them. That's the better scenario. The better scenario is chasing fucking regular citizens in the street because they got a dime bag.
To Snickers and Cheetos. I love Snickers and Cheetos. But
no shit, you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Like, I'm trying not to say the R-tard word too much here. I mean, he's Barney Fife. He's Barney Fife, like modern day Barney Fife, dude.
The bottom line is, this is that kind of...
Oh, that was so funny, guys. I like Cheetos.
deal.
I like disgusting food that's terrible for you. Cheetos probably kills more people than weeds ever. I mean, the only people that die from weed are people that are doing stupid shit on weed. And you say, well, they died because they did something stupid on weed. You could say the same thing for, I mean, I ate a cheeseburger and did something stupid. It was the cheeseburger.
And it's happening right under our noses. And law enforcement, if we are anything, this badge that sits over our heart for every man and woman, it doesn't just sit over our heart, it is our heart. We are supposed to be the answer. We are supposed to come to people's aid and solve problems. And when we can't test this in a cost-effective way or to understand even what's in it, we're at a loss.
Basically, they can't because they can't prosecute people, because that's been a big problem. Because it's too hard to test. No, the problem is you can't test it. You can't test it. It just costs too much, and you find out that it's legal. It's following the law. It's by the law. It's what is allowed now. So again, they're just mad because they can't arrest people and throw them in jail for the simple act of being a free human being who wants to smoke something that Mother Nature gave them.
We want to be the answer. I don't want you to have to dial 912. There isn't a 912. We want to solve your problems.
We want to solve your problems by throwing people in jail. We want to solve you're not solving any problems. You're creating problems.
And this bill is a massive help to law enforcement, but more than that, it's a help to our towns, our communities. In the city of Tomball, beautiful little place, there are 3 times as many establishments that sell THC edibles as there are family restaurants.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that face. There's more THC places that sell fucking edibles than restaurants. Maybe because the people fucking want them. Maybe because there's a ton of demand and people like them. If they weren't good, if they were selling a product that sucked, or they were like, you know, selling something like, I mean, I don't know. If it was bad, I think, well, I can't say that, because if they were selling heroin, they'd probably get a lot of fucking customers too. If heroin was legal, there'd probably be a lot of heroin shops opening up. But just the idea that that's again another selling point for why we need to ban it is because it's popular, and there's so many businesses opening up that are making money. And you know, right now, restaurants, like, it's really hard to have a successful restaurant. It's really hard. So that's a tough one to compare anything against the restaurant business. Because the restaurant business is since COVID and with inflation, people aren't eating out, man. Can't afford to.
So this is a big deal. And
you know, maybe if all these weed shops start generating a lot more money, maybe more restaurants will open because of the weed shops. You know, at least there's foot traffic, somewhere to sell food to.
And it's I'm so grateful and so and stand by the Lieutenant Governor and the House and the Senate and law enforcement. Thanks you all for your dedication.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Oh, you can just go there. Guy Willis, where are you, Guy?
It's so fucking awkward. All right, yeah, I just wanted to get through fucking this dumbass cop from Tomball. Look, I'm never driving through Tomball if that's the police you got over there. I will drive around that shithole. I definitely will not stop and spend any money in that shithole. So I did wonder, like, so yeah, so this guy, I mean, it took one guy to prove him wrong. Let me find this real quick. Let me see here. I can remember. Oh, I'll pull it up from Grok again, just to make it easier. Let's pull it up from Grok. Let me zoom out of this again, so I can see what the fuck's going on. Grok. So yeah, I thought he was taking money from the pharmaceutical industry. No, he was not taking money from the pharmaceutical industry. There's no. If he is, it's not able to be, like, it's not public. He's doing it in some way where you can't really trace that he's getting money from the pharmaceutical industry. Who he is really getting money from is the alcohol industry. He got $250,000 from Silver Eagle Beverages, an alcohol distributor. Now, there's some conspiracies that there's somehow some financial reward tied into the 3 companies that are going to be licensed in the little teacup program. But again, can't prove that. One thing that is noted is that $250,000 from Silver Eagle Beverages, an alcohol distributor. It kind of makes sense that alcohol might feel like it has to compete against weed. Because if people have an alternative to beer to take a little bit of the edge off, they might choose that. And I know in my lifetime, I have chosen to not really drink. I don't drink much. I drink very, very rarely. Now, if I didn't have weed, I guarantee you I would be drinking a hell of a lot more. But because I enjoy weed, I don't need to take I don't need anything else to take the edge off. Weed does the job for me. And I just stick to weed. So I imagine the alcohol industry has seen a correlation with the legalization of these hemp-derived products and a decrease in sales and a decrease in interest from people drinking. I don't know. You guys have the same effect? Like, for me, if I have weed, I don't drink. I drink when I don't have weed. I'm sure a lot of people are just like me. Interesting. So yeah, let's hope. Again, this is on the governor's desk right now. I haven't heard anything about it. I think he's got a certain amount of time to either sign it or veto it. And if he doesn't do either, it's just going to automatically pass. So the only option for this not passing is that wheelchair guy, Governor Abbott, who has been good and bad, has a chance to be really good at this point, vetoes it. That's it. That's the last chance we have. Or, you know, all this shit's going to be criminalized, and people are going to have to go back into the black market. They're going to have to go back to bringing weed in from, I mean, people are still going to get their weed. Before this, everybody would just bring it in from Colorado, whatever the closest state was. But then you got to go through the gauntlet of driving through these small towns. Ooh, again, that might be a part of this. Because probably before, everybody was going to Colorado to get weed, and these small towns were just pulling over people left and right, bringing weed back from Colorado and just making bank, you know, off the fucking fines and yada yada. And now that people don't have to do that, or it's probably a lot less people doing that because they have access to something locally that works, they're probably losing revenue. Or I think probably the most likely scenario is there's some sort of financial incentive that these guys have set themselves up for to make money off of this. So, you know, clearly Dan Patrick taking $250,000 from an alcohol distributor, that's suspicious. That's suspicious to me. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one. I don't think I have anything else here. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. All right, everybody. Much love. We'll see ya on the next one. You'll have a great night. What's today? Thursday? I'll try to come by tomorrow. We'll see about doing something tomorrow if there's some cool